Hi everyone, it's Rena from Perth IELTS and PTE Tutoring, and today we're going to continue on with PTE. And now that we've created our study plan and how we're going to prepare for it, we're going to go into PTE specific changes that you need to make. In particular, how do we address the questions? Which questions do you want to study first, and which questions you don't want to study at all? Okay, sorry about the long break. It has been Easter over here in Western Australia and in Australia, and there was a big break for school as well. Term two is officially in session. So, yeah, sorry I haven't been around. Anyways, I hope to produce more content for you soon. Yes, let's get straight to it. Sorry. So, as most of you already know, there are 20 question types and they are all weighted differently. Sadly, they are not weighted equally, and 11 of the 20 questions mark two skills. Now, I know it's really, really unfair. Unlike other tests where if there are 40 questions, for example, in IELTS reading, there are 40 questions, each question contributes 1 mark to your final score. So you're trying to get maybe 30 correct out of 40 or 35 correct out of 40. It's not the same case with PTE. So as I've said before, 20 question types, 11 of the 20 assess two skills, and none of the 20 questions assess just one skill. The questions that assess two skills are read aloud, repeat sentence, retell lecture, answer short question, summarize written text, reading and writing fill in the blanks, summarize spoken text, listening fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, highlight incorrect word, and write from dictation. The remaining 9 that assess just one skill are describe image, write essay, multiple choice, multiple answer reading, multiple choice single answer reading, reorder paragraph, reading fill in the blanks, multiple choice, multiple answer listening, multiple choice single answer listening, and select missing word. And just like life, PTE academic is not fair, nor is it equal, right? There are, and for the sake of making teaching easier, there are questions in 3 different categories. Okay, so I consider them to be top tier questions, second tier questions, and then rubbish questions or filler questions or questions that are just not that important. The most important PTE questions are read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, all fill in the blank question types, so listening, reading, and writing, and write from dictation. It is important to note that each of these questions contribute between 15 and 35% of the total scores for either one or both of the skills that it assesses. Now, it is not fair and it is not right, but we need to work with what we've got. Okay? So, these are the second tier questions. Retell lecture, summarize written text, write essay, reorder paragraphs, summarize spoken text, and highlight incorrect words. And the low weighted, time wasting, rubbish questions that I consider unimportant are answer short question, highlight correct summary, multiple choice reading, listening, or multiple choice questions, and select missing word. So, how do we go about preparing for PTE when we're making PTE specific improvements? So, this is the preparation plan that we went through before. Step 1 is to know thyself, either through assessment, formal assessment, taking a PTE test yourself, or taking an official mock test. Step 2 is to work on your English language weaknesses. And then step 3 is to make PTE academic specific changes. This is where we are at now. We're just at step 3. Step 4 is the pre exam period where you book your test and you make further improvements. And then step 5 is finally when you take the exam. Next, we're going to talk about how to structure your PTE specific study time. You start off with the most important and heavily weighted question types first, such as read aloud. Then you move on to the second tier questions after you have sufficiently mastered the most important question types. And once in a while, very occasionally, you can practice the least important questions. So then you could ask, Arena, how often do I need to do it? And how many times do I need to do it? It all depends on your current strengths and what suits you best, which takes you back to step one, know thyself. But a general rule of thumb is that the approximate number of times this question is repeated in the test is the number of times you need to practice it each time. For example, read aloud can show up how many times? Let's find out. I think repeat sentence is about 11 times, and read aloud maybe 5. Here we are. So, how many times for each question? Read aloud assesses 2 skills, and you need to repeat it 7 times each time you study. Repeat sentence 12, it assesses 2 skills. Describe image 4 times. Reading and writing fill in the blanks 6 times, reading fill in the blanks 5 times, listening fill in the blanks 3 times, and write from dictation 4. The reason we do it this way is so that you build stamina for these really difficult questions. You can't just practice 1 or 2 read alouds a day and think it's going to be done, because on the test day you might be hit with 6 read aloud questions and you will run out of breath, you run out of stamina. You need to do it as many times as you would in the exam when you are preparing. Okay? So, when it comes to second what? Second tier questions, we do the same thing, right? Retail lecture, you might have to do it twice each time you prepare. Summarize written text twice. Write essay twice. Yes, I know that's 20 minutes of your time, but still, you need to do it. Reorder paragraphs, summarize spoken text, and highlight incorrect word. Each one of those 3 or 2 times every time you're preparing. Okay? And finally, the unimportant question types. Okay? Every once in a while you do have to practice them, not so much because you are going to improve your final score. It's not really going to help you improve your final score. What it does help you with is endurance. It allows you to seamlessly transition from one question type to the next without you getting confused, without you stumbling. This is why we do the unimportant questions as well. And there you have it, guys. You know exactly which questions to start off with, how many times you need to practice those questions, and you are ready to make PTE specific changes after you have made English language improvements, right? So we've finished our step 3 of our full on plan. I will also provide a link below where you can download the PDF, and I'll give you a bit of an infographic, which questions, how many times to practice, and what tier they're in. Okay? Thanks so much for being here today, and I hope it was really helpful. If you found it helpful, maybe pass this video on to somebody who might find it helpful as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.